What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome back to the Sooner Surge. Before we get started, click subscribe if you haven't. We really appreciate all of the community Sooner Surge members that are a part of what's going on here. Your viewership means a lot to us. We really appreciate it. Keep it up. We got a lot of content coming your way. And today we're going to talk about really who stood out as an MVP the first 2 weeks through two games. There are so many names you could throw out there on offense and defense, even special teams for that matter. But let's just get started. Who is your, through 2 weeks, OU MVP?
I mean, I'll go first. And I think it's pretty obvious after last week winning Defensive Player of the Week, Dannystzman, the guy before the season, leader. Start of the season, he's been the leader. Bar none, in my opinion, he's the leader of the defense and the whole team. I know a lot of people may say Dylan Gabriel. I think Dannystzman's the leader of this team.
Jason.
I think he's the leader of this team. And if you watch last week's game and put any game last year up against it, he is, bar none, he is leaps ahead of last year. And in his alignment, in his quickness to the ball, in his instincts where the play's going, he sniffed out 2 trick plays Saturday that were just amazing. We just sniffed them out right off the bat. The guys in the film room, the guys leading with his voice, the guys leading with his play. You can see it in the backers that play behind him. They're getting developed, and part of that is also because Stutzman's helping them along the way. And to me, he's the MVP so far through 2 games.
And I think we all have heard the story of when Stutzman got onto campus. Brent Venables in the spring asked him if he ever was going to watch film. And Stutzman has even said it. That's when the light clicked for him, whenever he knew he had to make a change. And we've seen that this has truly just been a guy that Brent Venables got his hands all over and has taken that growth from a leadership perspective, from a play on the field perspective, and also from an off the field. Just Stutzman has really emerged himself into being debatably, as you said, the leader of the whole entire team, not just the defense. He's debatably the best player on this team right now. So in Stutzman, I mean, he has a chance at the end of the year to be an All-American level player.
Yeah, so who do you got, Jackson?
Mine, it was obviously a lot of other guys I think we could go with, but I'm going to go with a guy that I think has earned every single snap he's got from the hard work he's had to put in over this past year, and that's Justin Harrington. You talk about just a football story that everyone loves, right? A guy who basically quit while Alex Grinch was here, quit on the team, walked out, and said that he just really kind of just gave up on football in a way. And he asked and Brent Venables finally let him come back last year. He's had to earn that chance to play again on the field, had to earn the trust from his teammates and the staff. And Harrington, man, he's shown in the first 2 weeks why he's on that starting cheetah spot. In week 1, before Deshaun McCullough got hurt, Harrington was even starting. So Harrington, right, is just someone that this year, I think at Cheetah, that Oklahoma has never had a player I can say that's like Justin Harrington. Just being 6'3", 6'4", can play like a defensive back, but has the size of a linebacker.
Yeah, Justin Harrington's another guy that's been very impressive. We've always had the Justin Harrington talk. It's just a matter of seeing it on the field. And this year we finally seen it on the field. I mean, he got the game sealing interception Saturday night against SMU, and then did the team player thing and fell down because, something could happen that then SMU somehow gets the ball. So he just had to make that personal sacrifice for the team. But I'm going to go with someone on the offensive side of the ball. Dylan Gabriel, guys, 6 or 7 touchdowns through 2 games right now, it's only 2 games into the season, but so far the best year of his career. Right now he is 6th in the country in passer rating. Only guys in front of him are Michael Pratt from Tulane, Caleb Williams, Sam Hartman, Jackson Dart, and J.J. McCarthy. So that's a really impressive group. for Dylan Gabriel to be in. Right now, he also has 77% completion percentage. That is the highest of his career. Wasn't the best against SMU, but he was efficient. Didn't turn over the ball. Still had 4 passing touchdowns. Like, looking at the numbers, Dylan Gabriel has had a really good start to the season.
Yeah, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions is impressive. He is going to have to probably go to the next level to lead them to where they want to be. Is he the guy? We're going to find out very quickly if he is, but definitely has good numbers. You can't argue that. So Dylan Gabriel has been impressive in that. And I'm going to choose someone that you may be very surprised with for the dub, for the MVP, and that's W squared. Woody Washington. Listen, Woody Washington played more snaps than anyone else the other night against SMU, if you go look at it. Stutzman and Kanik played 69. I think Woody Washington was somewhere around 80. He did not come off the field much, and what he does, what he brings to the table on defense, is he basically closes off one whole side of the field in the passing game. He's locked down. Not only that, what I've seen from him this year, he's much more physical. He's been involved in the run game. He's made elite tackles. That just shows that his physicality, his strength is even stronger than it has been. We've always known he can cover well. But to me, I mean, you talked about their stud receiver last week. I'm not saying Woody Washington was the sole reason that guy went over, but Woody Washington played a major role in that. And there aren't guys running wide open on Woody Washington's side of the field. So I'm going to go with Woody Washington because what does that do for the rest of the defense when he single-handedly can be on an island by himself? It allows for more pressure, allows for more blitz packages. There's a whole lot. And I promise you, Brent Venables is loving having Woody Washington as a lockdown corner on that side of the field, guys.
Well, and he hasn't allowed a catch in 2 games. And I know people say, well, he's only been targeted at 5 times. Well,
there's a reason for that.
Do you know how hard cornerback is to play? Cornerback, to me, is one of the hardest positions on the defense. I mean, you're out there by yourself.
The hardest position to play on the field, in my opinion.
Hey, and listen, if anyone that watches Sooner football, Sooner fans, if there's been one complaint about the defense, it's been lack of pressure. So if there's no pressure and he's still able to cover up his guy, that is very impressive. Woody Washington, my MVP.
I wouldn't say from the defense it's been the lack of pressure. It's been the lack of the ability to finish whenever they get the pressure. I would go more of that.
I agree. I'm saying just from Sooner fans' standpoint, a lot of people talked about that.
But, I think the last time Oklahoma had a top 30 defense, they had a pretty good cornerback that was able to lock down a lot of receivers in Parnell Motley. So, I mean, like whenever Oklahoma's had really good cornerback, they've had a very successful defense.
Yeah, and they're ranked top 10 right now, correct?
What, in total defense?
Total defense, I believe.
I thought I saw somewhere they were like 35 in total defense, which didn't seem right to me.
Maybe I saw a different stat, but I know they're pretty high. It's a lot higher than they've been. But who would you, as viewers watching this, who's your MVP of the first 2 weeks? Who would you put down there as the best player on the team through 2 weeks?
Yeah, drop those comments in the chat. We would love to hear those, and we'll hear from you guys. Appreciate all the comments. Keep them coming, Sooner Nation. MVPs, wide variety here for first 2 games. And, guys, we didn't even mention, I know, Hunter, Peyton Bowen is a guy you were probably thinking about bringing up. So
honorable mention of Peyton Bowen. He hasn't seen the field a whole lot, like as much as the starters do, obviously. But last week he was really becoming the third down guy. He was getting subbed in on third down, and it's every time he's on the field, it's just like, wow, this is what a 5-star safety looks like. Like it really is. On special teams, he blocked the punt. Yeah, and he says he wasn't even supposed to go after it. That was just.
I thought that was the funniest thing. That's a definition of a playmaker, dude.
Yeah, him just making that gut call, like, I'm good enough to make a good play here, and I'll get in trouble later after making this big play. And then in the fourth quarter, that pass breakup he had to seal the game, get the ball back into the offense's hands. They can extend the lead to 17 at that point. It's just as the season progresses, it's going to be impossible to keep him off the field. He will be in a starting role at some point. And that's not a knock to the guys above him. Like the guys above him on the depth chart.
They're playing good.
Yeah, they're really good players. It's just Peyton Bowen has been playing this well early on that it's just going to be impossible as the season progresses.
And I would say that this is the best safety room we've seen from top to bottom,
bar
1
none.
through 5 in a long time.
Hunter
Yeah.
and Jackson, they're not used to playing more than 2 guys back there.
Exactly.
I mean, go back to Pat Fields and
Delaney,
Royals.
I mean, they were every snap guys. I mean, they didn't
Yeah,
have depth at all.
well, I mean, you talk about like the last true play. I would say Delarian Turner-Yell was only the sort of elite playmaker OU had at safety over the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, and here's the deal. As what Hunter just said, as the season progresses, we're going to see more of Peyton Bowen. And that's what's key here. Young guys are getting in early. It's only going to benefit this defense later on in the season when it's really going to matter. And the other honorable mention would have to be Tolly Walker with his production and what he's been able to do, reminding a lot of people of Samaje Perine. But he has really, when some other backers that we thought were going to be getting a lot of the PT, they have not. He has stepped up and produced. So Tolly Walker, another honorable mention. But guys, through 2 games, there you have it. There's our MVP candidates for the Oklahoma Sooners through 2 games. Will it change? I'm sure it will, because as we know, the Sooners have competitive depth, and that is what's so impressive about this team. University of Tulsa matchup this week on the road, probably be 90% Crimson and Cream. We'll have a Jeremy Poplin interview this week, midweek, to talk about this game. Be a part of what's going on here at the Sooner Surge. Till next time, guys. Boomer.